All right, here we have a map of Missouri, the Show Me State, since 1821, but Missouri has a history that goes back before 1821. So today I want to talk about the colonial history of Missouri. And the colonial history of Missouri covers the French and Spanish exploration and colonization from 1673 to 1803 and ends with the American takeover through the Louisiana Purchase. The Louisiana Purchase was a purchase made by the United States President Thomas Jefferson, old TJ, in 1803. And he bought the Louisiana Territory from the French, which was being led by a guy named Napoleon Bonaparte at the time for $15 million. So a pretty cheap land acquisition deal. Napoleon sold the land for so cheap because he needed money for a great French war. Today I want to talk about the Spanish and French influence on town names in Missouri. And then before the European colonial history of Missouri, I also want to talk about the Native American history of Missouri and see if we can recognize some Native American city names in Missouri. So first, let's take a look at some of the French town names in Missouri. The first one I want to point out is Lafayette County, which is right here, which is where Higginsville is. Lafayette County is named after a French aristocrat who fought in both the American and French revolutions. Then we have one of the most famous cities in Missouri, St. Louis. St. Louis is named after a French king, Louis IX. And then we have down here south of St. Louis, we have Cape Girardeau, which is located south of a former French village called Saint Genevieve, and Cape Girardeau is named after the French guy who founded the town. A couple ones I think that don't need too much explanation. We have Paris, Missouri up here, and then down by the Lake of the Ozarks, on the north shore of the Lake of the Ozarks, we have a town pronounced Versailles, named after Versailles in France. And then just north of actually southeast of Versailles, we have Lake Ozark, the town, but also the whole entire Lake of the Ozarks comes from the French word Ozark, which means land of arches. And then we have Vichy, Missouri, which is named after the town in France. Normandy, Missouri, which is named after the northern coastal region in France. So a lot of French influence still in Missouri town names. Next, I want to talk about the Spanish town names that we can recognize in Missouri. Like up north, we have a town called La Plata, which is silver in Spanish. Then, of course, we have Alba, Missouri, which means dawn in Spanish. In southeast Missouri, in the bottom right-hand corner here, we have New Madrid County, which is named after the capital of Spain. Then we have Iberia, Missouri, near the Lake of the Ozarks, named after the Iberian Peninsula, which is where you can find the countries of Portugal, Spain, and Andorra. And then here near St. Louis, we have De Soto, Missouri, named after the Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto. Next, finally, I want to talk about Native American names that we can find in Missouri. First, we have Osage Beach. Then we have towns like Chillicothe and Chillicothe, Lake Tapawingo and Lake Winnebago. We have Miami, Missouri, but down here in the southern corner of Missouri, we have Seneca and Neosho. These are all Native American words, but obviously two Native American words that we might be the most familiar with here in our community is the word Missouri itself is a Native American word, and so is the word Kansas. So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think the words Missouri and Kansas mean in English?